recently installed a Resonator Delete X pipe on our 2024 Mustang GT with the active exhaust system, and it really woke up the car and sounds amazing, especially in track mode. Now, anytime we do a video on an X pipe, the next question everybody asks, well, what would an H pipe sound like? So today we actually installed an H pipe on our 24, and we're gonna give you some sound clips. Now, as far as the install goes, it's gonna be the same on both cars, and since obviously we already cut the exhaust, we're gonna show you some B-roll footage of previous installations and get to the part you guys are looking for, how it sounds. Before we jump into the installation video, if you have any questions about the tools we're using, check out cjponyparts.com/tools or click the link up in the corner for a free exclusive PDF and video showing you the tools you should have in your toolbox and how to safely and properly use them. So if you're regular on our channel, you probably know there's two ways you can do a Resonator Delete on an S550 or S650 chassis. First, you can do it with the exhaust on the car and simply carefully cut the pipes out. The other way is to take the cat back off. Since removing the cat back isn't terribly difficult, if you have some help, that's the way I'm going to recommend doing it. We're going to remove our cat back as our first step. So the 650 has this new pan that comes in from the back. Start by removing these two screws, and we're going to bend the bracket forward out of the way. Next, remove these two bolts for the rear hangers. And then hook from the subframe. Next, we're going to loosen up the front clamps. Before we do that though, bend these tabs out so the clamps can slide back. Now loosen, but don't remove these. Now we're going to slide the clamps back and then slide the entire cat back off, remove it as one piece. You will need an additional set of hands for this. You're going to have someone hold the mufflers in the back while I'm going to do the front. So now grab your Resonator Delete, line up the front pipes, and basically draw a line at the back here. Now grab a tape measure and basically measure 2 inches in from each of those lines. And that's going to be our cut line. Now we're going to grind this clean, get rid of any kind of sharp edges. Now grab a Resonator Delete, install the supplied clamps, make sure the curve's on the passenger side, and connect to the tailpipes. We're just going to snug up the clamps. We'll make final adjustments on the car. Now you're going to carefully lift it into place. Remember, the clamps are only snugged, so the mufflers may move. So adjust the tailpipes and mufflers to the tips to where you want them in the valance, and then tighten down the clamps from the Resonator Delete to the tailpipes. And then rehang the exhaust hanger hooks and install the bolts. and reinstall the belly pan screws. And our installation is finished. You're going to use Ford's remote rev feature now to hear how it sounds. Now keep in mind when it starts, it'll be valves open. You'll hear it actually quiet down the valves closed, and then we'll rev it with the valves open. So just like we expected, our Accelatec Resonator Elite H pipe sounds amazing with the factory active exhaust system. Now, how does it compare to the X pipe? Well, in the future, we'll do a video. We'll let you guys decide. Personally, I usually like an X on a Coyote, but the H sounds really good on this engine, like especially down low. Like down low, it has that almost like old school muscle car growl to it. Up top, I probably prefer the sound of the X, but they both are great options if you have a factory active exhaust system. Like most Resonator Elites, the installation's not too terrible to do as long as you don't mind cutting. Give yourself about an hour and a half, you'll be back on the road in no time.